But to start off, as I mentioned a moment ago, joining us today on Meet the Team is someone who no doubt all our listeners will be familiar with, because he's been with us right since our very first live event, which took place in March last year. Now, as I'm sure anyone who tuned into our live event 2 weeks ago would agree, if you're ever having any issues with or need any support with your internet connection, he's definitely the guy you're going to want to contact. So Daniel, thanks so much for joining us today on Meet the Team.
JP, thanks very much. Thanks for the little title there of the fix your internet guy.
No, it was good. No, I enjoyed that piece. I have to say, you know, my own connection has been a bit dodgy for the last couple of days, Daniel. So I might be happy to giving you a call myself.
Absolutely. We'll try and sort that one out for you, JP.
So just to start with, Daniel, I wonder, could you give us a bit of an overview of yourself? How long have you been with us in NCBI, and whereabouts are you usually based?
Well, JP, I was shocked actually. You know, I kind of when you said I'd be coming on to meet the team today, I think this was dropped on me yesterday. And this is actually, you know, that's one of the questions now that's going to come up is how long am I with the NCBI? And I had to think back, and I'm actually here heading towards 4 years, and I just cannot fathom how quickly the time has gone. You know, it's been fantastic. And I suppose one thing you'd always find that, you know, if you're working in a role or doing the type of work that you really like, you just don't realise how quickly the time goes. So I suppose it's a testament to NCBI and working for them, you know, that the time has flown by so quickly, but also, you know, the sense that the work I do with all our service users and interacting with our service users, it's totally enjoyable. And, you know, you could not actually wish for, you know, a better combination.
There's a good level of job satisfaction that comes with it then, Daniel, is there, you find?
Absolutely, yeah, absolutely. And like with all the service users and all the different things that you come across, just, you know, nothing is the same. Everybody you meet has their own personality, and you know, all the different types of technical issues that come up, and the training that you deliver, and people learning different styles, you know, and it is really amazing and you know, thoroughly enjoyable. And, you know, while it is challenging, it keeps me on my toes, keeps the brain thinking, how can I solve this? How can I make this easier for somebody to do and deliver the training? Definitely, So
it's certainly a case, and Daniel, it sounds like there's no 2 days that are ever the same in your job, is there?
Not. Absolutely not.
And Daniel, would you be mostly office based? Are you in the office mostly, or are you out a bit doing, you know, maybe work outside the office too? Maybe some home visits or different, maybe the camps that you're involved in.
Yeah, absolutely. There's a big flavour of, you know, between office out on the road, going to events, home visits, and all that. Now, primarily, I'm based out of the Portlaoise office, and I also cover Offaly as well. So I go between the two offices a fair bit, and you know, work with Nicola in the Portlaoise office, the CRW there, and Aileen over in Tullamore. Big shout out to those two; they're absolutely fantastic work colleagues. And then with the children's teams, we run, you know, events. I suppose they're kind of targeted around the times when kids are off school. So like your February break, your Easter break, summer break, and again for the midterm in October. So we try and run events, you know, to capture our younger members when, you know, obviously when they're off school and they've got time. And that can take place anywhere in the country. You know, we've been to Limerick, we've been to Kildare, Cork, Mayo, you know, all lovely places too to go visit. So definitely very varied.
Excellent. What about your background? So before NCBI, Daniel, whereabouts were you based before you came to NCBI?
Well, where I kind of suppose got into, well, I would have been into computers at a very young age, even before finishing school and all that. But after school, I would have done a couple of years in Leixlip working. It was, I suppose, there was no such thing as an apprenticeship in computer building and, you know, installing software, configuring software. There wasn't, if you could call it an apprenticeship, and I did that with a company for for a couple of years, and then that was up in Kildare, so it was a bit of a track at that time, commuting and all that. So an opportunity came up then in Portlaoise, which is a lot closer to where I live. And it was an electrical store, you're very like any of your high street electrical shops. But at the time they were getting into open up a new computer section, so it was computer sales and all that, but it did tie in with other technology, TVs and everything as well. But I was put in charge of that, so I ran that department there for them for I don't know, it could have been a decade or so. It's hard to keep tabs on the time, but unfortunately, the big recession hit in I suppose by the time it really took a toll on that in 2011, 2012, somewhere around there. Unfortunately, they closed down their electrical end of it, and from then I actually worked with another company, but they were involved in kind of refurbishing computers for charity, and a lot of the computers to refurbish went out to out to Africa and places like that. So that was good, to be doing something constructive there. And then I joined the NCBI there a couple of years ago. So that's a quick walkthrough of that. So it's always been close to technology, computers and all that, close to my heart. So
it sounds like there was a huge amount of experience you would have gained from that previous role, Daniel, that you were able to bring into this new role in NCBI. I knew, relatively speaking, over the last few years, particularly when it comes to technical support and people having issues with their laptop, issues with technology, I'm sure.
Absolutely, yeah. Like even going back to the days when I was doing the computer department in the electrical shop, like you might have somebody might have bought a piece of equipment, whether it was a laptop or whatever. Technology, while it's great, it does give guff from time to time, and you might have a customer come back and, hey, look, there's something wrong here with the computer, and 9 times out of 10 I was able to solve it for them there over the counter, which was great. So I was keeping up with the technical support end of it as well as the sales.
Yeah. I understand, Daniel, you mentioned a moment ago you're involved in supporting the children's team too in NCBI. Can you tell us a bit about that more in more detail and some of the work that you do there?
Yeah, well, prior to COVID, we would have went around the country to different places, and we'd run, I suppose, what we call camps, and working with the CRWs in the children's team, another great bunch of people there. We would have ran, I suppose, half of it would have been AT focused, and the other half would be kind of getting out and active and being out and about, and they've done all sorts of great things like challenges and everything outdoors as well, particularly for the summer ones. So planning those, believe it or not, like there's a good chunk of time going into it, liaising with all the other staff members to make sure that what we want to cover and trying and tailor it to the guys we knew that were going to come. So there was a lot of that in it too.
And Daniel, you're also involved in supporting children using different types of refreshable braille displays too, is that right, in different schools?
That's correct, yes. Sometimes we get queries in from the schools, the braille refreshable braille devices are they're a little bit tricky at times, particularly technical support and those, making sure we can connect to the internet. If a child is after typing up an essay or something, wants to print it off, being able to connect to a printer, all those kind of things, email, everything. So plenty of support there too.
And Daniel, before we finish, is there anything in particular that you're working on at the moment?
Well, since the COVID came in, we have refocused our training efforts to try and deliver them online now. So using this Microsoft Teams app, we set up the workshops, and we try and deliver as much as we can, in small groups through Microsoft Teams. So over the last couple of months, I suppose, really since last August, we've been working with groups of children, delivering training in Microsoft Word and PowerPoint, and being able to do email and all that kind of thing. So we do as much as we can. Like, obviously it's limited virtually, but we'll absolutely push those limitations to what we can deliver there.
Yeah, it's certainly great to have that offering, isn't it? To have everything available online as much as we can online, when we can't meet in person.
It is, and I will say is after kind of looking back over these last few months throughout the lockdown and how we've delivered our training content online, like it has been very, very successful. The feedback come from both the students and the parents involved has been excellent. Or people are very appreciative that we are
Yeah.
here, we're offering this service, and all the feedback has been good and it's been enjoyable. We've done a particular group of sessions there at August, and in fairness now to the guys on the children's team, they come in and they said, right, okay, we're going to actually interrupt the class every 20 minutes and just get kids up out of the chairs, stretch their arms,
Yeah.
put on
Yeah.
a bit of music, get them to dance to it, bring a little bit of fun into it. We still have to live and laugh too. I know these are
Yes.
tough
Yeah.
times, but we have to have the laugh and a bit of crack too, because that's who we are at the end of the day.
Yeah. Absolutely. Well, Daniel, thanks very much for taking the time to talk to us today for the Meet the Team piece. It's much appreciated. So I think you're going to stay with us though for our section coming
Yeah,
up later on the accessible fitness devices. So Daniel,
yeah.
thanks again.
Thanks very much, JP, and you're great there. I was kind of worried about if Jude was here today, he might give me a quirky question, but thank you very much.
No worries. All right. Nice one, Daniel. Thanks again.
You're more than welcome.
Thanks.